All right, all you devils out there, happy Friday. Well, here we go. We start with Bitcoin, of course. No, anytime we're putting in new highs, it's always a bit of an adjustment, right? You've got to reconsider the counts that you've had working here. You just adapt to what the market is showing us. So I think worthwhile, again, to go out to a longer time frame here and just double check, see, does this need some adjustment? We've adjusted this and modified per this extension here. Some of this has been reworked to accommodate the continued movement higher. Oh, of course, we've been looking at this for 2 years, just about. On 3-day here, it does look like it's reasonable to adjust the 1-2-1-2 here on the idea. And again, I know we've been through this, but just for new viewers, that we've pick your 4, that we've got a completed impulse in here. I know you can't see it in there. But that's the basic structure of it. Now we get here, okay, what did we complete? Oh, because we completed something. So I would be the first to tell you that I was surprised that we didn't get a deeper retracement here. I thought we were going to get down in the mid 70s here. I'm somewhat surprised, but that's the nature of trading, technical analysis, certainly Elliott Wave. You respond and adjust to what the market's doing. So it's important that you not get locked into some bias or some expectation. Certainly with that, you're going to miss some trades, right? If it doesn't line up to where you had your sights set, you're going to miss some trades, but that's not the end of the world. We all miss trades. You're going to miss trades. Don't let it bother you. Just adjust. Okay, let's reevaluate the technicals here and see where the opportunity lies. So as we sit here now on the assumption that we've now completed the impulse here, 3-4, and we're going higher. Well, the question is, are we heading towards a 5th here to complete it all? With this, there's never any knowing, but with much of the positive backdrop, macro, institutional adaptation. I think BlackRock is now the 2nd largest holder of Bitcoin, only behind Satoshi. The Genius Act passing, more regulation coming through. I mean, it's all looking very positive, right? So it would be, now you don't want to be a pig here, but it seems reasonable here that if we're going to complete an impulse here, very reasonable to anticipate this won't be the top, right? And then we're going to make something deeper, right? Of course, anything's possible, right? That's never what I'm saying. But if we're going to put in a 5 here and look for some sort of a retrace, it looks pretty reasonable that could be the start of the 3-4, getting up to a 5 here. Now we're getting into, that used to be bull porn. Now this is like, that's PG for Bitcoin. 250, 260, that's not, the porn is up over 1 million. Could it happen? Well, there's likely to be some sort of a correction here along the way. It's just natural for the markets. Some event we can't foresee, certainly possible. So you just try and look for those opportunities where you can identify potential edge, right? And that's where you want to enter the market. So as we sit right here, I know, right, as we're looking out here on a 3-day, we got to dig in a little bit deeper there to see if indeed there's an opportunity, because as you just sit here looking at it, right, if we're going to do something like this and then pop a little bit higher to complete something up here, well, there's the retrace from the 4 to the 5, and then there's the retrace if indeed, now this is a heavy if, but if indeed this is a 1 of the 5, then there's the 2, 3, 4, right? We would anticipate that, just standard Elliott. You don't have to take my word for it. It's just to do your own evaluation as to whether or not markets move in 5 and 3s. It's not always, and Elliott Wave is not perfect. We're never here to advocate that it's perfect TA. There's no such thing. But of all the choices here, again, if I thought there was something better, that's what I'd be teaching. So as we look at it now, let's go down here from this, right? Okay, well, all right, great, right? That's all, great if you're long. Let's get into something. I'm going to go from a 3-day to a 2-hour, or we get a better look at what the breakdown here. The last swing low, so here, this is, this maybe confuse you. That's Ethereum, right, which is my preferred for market structure. Let's see. Pardon me, I'm on a 4-hour here, so let me go back a little bit. All right, so from this last low here at 98, when we've had the big push up here, well, just, if we standard Elliott kind of stuff, right? If we 3, 4, 5, looks like, we've got, if I pull this up here a little bit, down for the 4, right? We've got the potential, right? It's always just potential, the potential here for this to kick up for that 5, right? And then, you know, if it's going to complete per Elliott momentum analysis, you would anticipate that this won't go higher than the 3. I mean, again, a high-class problem. If that's the case, if we were to get an extension in the 5th, but the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 looks pretty solid at the moment. Yeah. So with that said, let's dig in there a little bit. So I think I was trying to get to a 2-hour. Well, you start to see this a little bit more, right? So. Let's here. Let me just push that out for a second. I tend to go to the indicators last. Okay, so from our low here, 1, 2, shallow, right? It's very common. You know, if you've been around crypto long enough, you'll recognize that shallow 2s are just kind of built into the asset class. It's just so common that it's not something to be shocked by. Not that I would change my anticipation, but if I see something, you know, rallying off of a 38 or even a 23, right, in a 2. I don't go, oh my God, that can't be a 2. So here we sit, right? I mean, that's shallow. And then we get a nice 1, 2, right? It's a little deeper here. Hit the obvious 3. There's the 4. We go sideways. We stop progressing the trend, right? We stall. What are we doing? We're going up for the 5. So we've got a completed impulse here. Again, pretty hard to argue with, right? For Elliottians, right? Prone to disagree on counts. Often that's the case when there's some subjectivity to it here. I don't think we have to argue much about that. For the 1, 2, complete the 3. Now, if that's the case, right, the expectation is that the 4 here, I know there's a lot of stuff on here. Do I have too much on here? Let's get this off here for a sec. Okay, so we can zero in a bit more on this 3 here. All right, pretty tight, right? Very shallow on the 4, right? You would anticipate often it'll come deeper, but again, markets the momentum is strong, right? So we do this with a very good looking impulse there. Okay, well, again, all right, just because it's Bitcoin, we don't want to go, well, I'm not going to anticipate a 3 because it's Bitcoin. It's, you know, again, right, what do they usually do? So let's dig in there a little bit and see what we got here. So I've been posting some of this for members. Oh, shit, I think I was posting on the 3. So some of you have seen this, although I had one post here where I forgot to adjust my Elliott count because I was so focused on how sweet the median line play was. So let's pull that out of here for a second. So you see, and I reference this, I know people go, oh, fuck, man, why are you telling me that after the fact? Because the reason I do that, right, well, one, I can't be recording a video when it's happening, but I want you to recognize when you see it the next time and the time after that and time after that and time and the next 10,000 times, because it will happen that many times, that you see this, that you go, oh, I've seen that before. Well, there's potential action there, right? I know I've got 80% probability that I get there. What do we do from that golden corner? It's just literally a straight line to it. Now, keep in mind that the 80% odds probability, right, per Dr. Alan Andrews, right, that's a one-time use. Right, one time, right? It's not like you go, oh shit, I get another 80. That's one time. So once it's hit, it's burned. That probability advantage is burned. Okay, well, so it does it twice here. Actually, it's pretty remarkable. But I mean, it is and it isn't, right? If you've been tracking this as long as I have, it's shocking when it doesn't happen. So we get the ping right here. Literally, it ticks the center line and then retraces, almost like software maybe did that. Right? How you think retail traders are that precise that no, come on, be real, right? So what do we do next? Oops. And if I got these right on these lows, I think it was right. All right, oh, that's the low. Okay, so we come down here, we get right in the pocket here, and then we scream higher. So we get this little combo here. And again, I want to do this for you so that you recognize when you see that, pay attention. When you see this, pay attention. Now, again, remember, you didn't have your 80% odds here, but you could have drawn another one. It's just going to be so, be way too tight to make, for that to be a good set of median lines. I'm not saying don't draw it, right? Because you don't know what's going to happen next, but that is, it hits it too fast, right? So it's too sharp an incline for good application of median lines here. But the one thing we can look at this and say, we do not get an impulse here, right? With the depth of this movement here. So it's a sort of a wacky, choppy here. I'm been, hesitant to even try and label it. Maybe you're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, A, B, C. It's again, don't expect Elliott to be perfect. This is iffy in here, right? You could have 1, 2, 3. You could have. You've got this lunar shot here, right? This is just one time frame here. I'm on a 30-minute. We just go up, 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 up. We don't break any lows. Right? It takes a while for this to retrace. So it's some chop and some bumpiness in here. Does it matter? Where does it matter now? Right? It mattered here. Mattered here. Okay. Well, all of those have been realized. So let's take this off now. That's done, right? That odds play. Now we've come down here and look what's happening here. Now I'm pulling from the absolute low here. So we're losing Al here. From the idea that, God, could this be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Doesn't quite look like it. As we sit here looking at it, what does that look like? Could be, right? Could be ABC. Could be 1, 2. Now it gets a little gnarly up here because we're so tight on these pivots. So that's 1, 2 possibly. Well, that's not necessarily bad news, right? And I emphasize this a lot. Don't be afraid of the market going down, right? It's healthy for the market, right? If you're a long-term bull, these retracements, that's where the market refuels, right? You want to see this. I know when you look at it, it's like, oh, fuck, man, my portfolio's gone down today. Well, that's a silly way to approach trading. You're going to have your portfolio ebb and flow, right? It's just natural. It's just the market doesn't go in one direction all the time. This retracement, if that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I'm thrilled because I want to buy it down here in the 110, 115, somewhere in that range. I don't know that this is done, but if that's 1, 2, which it certainly could be, if that's 1, 2, well, that's not going to be likely 3 because we're going to look for an impulse here. Let's just keep playing that out, right? Could that be 1, 2? We're working on 3, 4, 5. We're going to go lower here. While you change degrees and change colors, right? So you don't get confused by your own work. Okay, right. So we get maybe 3 coming lower. No way to know, right? Let's just see, right? Looks like we're stalling here. We've got fair value gaps over here. We've got imbalances. You see them right here that are getting filled. This got a little toe into it, but that's if I'm right on it. And then, of course, you could do the whole thing. It's just an order block, right? This move. Well, let's refine it. Because what comes off of it is that imbalance. So let's take it down here as a potential demand zone here or an order block, right? Either way, right? So how do we know it's a good one to consider? Because of the imbalance that it triggered, right? That's how you identify them. Okay, something. Okay, right? If that's ABC, well, let's pull back on that for a second. Is that bad news? Oh no, Bitcoin's going down. I would encourage you to reconsider thinking that way, right? It's, what can we identify here that we can lean into, right? Have you seen something like this before? Does this, again, first assumption, right? Market's the genius of Elliott. Market moves in 5s and 3s, right? Period. Do not take my word for it. Do your own due diligence and look at that, right? This looks like what we're doing here. I sure hope that's what we're doing, because if that is what we're doing, then I have a clear idea of where the market is technically and what it's doing and why it's doing it. Now, look at all the imbalances we have down here, right, to tap into, right? You think there might be some unfilled orders there? Oh, all right. I think likely there's going to be more than a few, right? So we've got back-to-back fair value gaps here underneath for the market to wrestle with. I want it to come down here, which seems odd for a bull. Like, what do you mean? What do you mean you want the market to come down? Yes, because I want to buy it down here. I don't want to buy it up here. I want this to come. I want it to break this low, right? So then I can lean into it. Like, I know exactly where we are. Now, that doesn't mean, remember, as I have to remind people, the point is not of trading ever, or technical analysis, not to be right. That is not the point. The point is to be profitable. I'm wrong with my technical analysis way more than I'm right. Way more, right? As will you be, and as will any trader be. Certainly any retail trader. You're going to be wrong more than you're right. That's not the point. The point is to be profitable. You can be wrong a lot and still be profitable, right? But what makes the difference there? It's money management. So if we come down here, I'm along those same lines. I'm not going to sit here with a limit order. I'm going to wait and see the reaction, because for all I know, we're going to this one. Maybe we're going to go lower. Maybe something's happening. Maybe some shit is, who knows, right? But where do I have an advantage? Where do I have odds play? Where can I lean into the odds and go, whether I have it or not? I believe I have it here, so I'm willing, with that, I'm willing to put money at risk because I think I've got a slight edge. If I don't think I have a slight edge, what am I trading? Why are you going into the market? Same reason most people do. Boredom, dopamine, FOMO, pick your poison. But it's the professional, or maybe that's the serious trader who waits until they identify, I recognize an edge for me. Maybe you don't see the same edge, but I will wait for that. And then I'll wait for it to respond here, or to react down here. And I want to see something come off of that. And then I'll take the first little retrace. You say, well, what if it doesn't reach? What if it does this? Well, what if it does? I missed it. But at some point, there will be a retrace. It's just how the market moves. Again, don't take my word for it. Pull up 10,000 charts and you tell me if you see the same thing. Does it move in 5 and 3s? I'll let you draw your own conclusion. All right, at some point, there'll be a retrace because they will need to refuel. Where do they refuel? Below, not above, right? There's no liquidity up here. It's all below. I like to say that pretty much every week just to remind you, right? They've got to refuel. What's the refuel, right? Your stops. Don't give it to them. Or if you're trading with leverage, you're just asking to be bent over and let somebody else take your Bitcoin with much deeper pockets than you. My strong suggestion is very light when you're going with leverage, because odds are, if not this time or the next time, sooner or later, they're going to get you. So, right, 3, we're waiting for 4. As far as I'm concerned, this is just a hurry up and wait. Now, come on down. Good sign, right? So if a little tells, right? Oh, we broke Al is broken here, right? So I've got a good candidate. It broke it on both sides, actually, right? It's broken on both sides, right? You got little, there are wicks that went through here. That's right on if I'm tight on it. I think we do. Yeah, we have a close that goes below. Right, that's what kills it, right? So there's the close that kills it. Here's the, liquidity grab, call it what you want, right? So as we break this, but the point is Al's dead, right? He's killed there, right? So now where do we get a short, a short one back? Where will he be next? Oh, let's pull from the 2 to the 1. Close. Maybe, right? Front run, you can, all the little things you want to look for, right? Telltale signs of an algo or institution, right? Little liquidity grab there. Break the high. There's a little bit of just assumptive, deductive reasoning here as to why we pivot there. You're never going to know, right? But that seems reasonable. So where are we headed, right? Way down here. 3, 4, 5. That's what I'd like to see. We're looking to complete the 3. If this is 1, 2, I want that 3 to complete, a little kick for the 4. Let's get retail. All excited. And when I say that, I'm not saying that we couldn't do this. I'm just saying, right, that if something like this, if you're comfortable shorting, watch the 1, right? You might look for something like that. If you're comfortable on either side, I would personally, right, because I rarely short Bitcoin, I'd be looking for the buy down here. I'll let this play out, right? I'm not worried. That's not a priority for me. I'll let it play out. And I'll look for that 4 to that 5 to finish. That's how I approach it, right? For what that's worth. All right, so come down here. If I can get it down here at the 113, 115, yeah, I'm going to be buying aggressively. But we're not there yet, right? We're at 117. It's not that far, right? For Bitcoin to do that over the weekend. You could do that in a day. Right, but we need a catalyst for that. And right now, most of the catalysts are friendly to the alts, right? So if you notice, right, alts seem to be kicking and Bitcoin is stalling. In fact, ETH is outperforming Bitcoin right now. Right? You probably see the same things I do. What is BlackRock buying right now? Well, they've already got, the second largest holder of Bitcoin on the planet, only behind Satoshi. They're buying ETH now, hand over fist. The big institutions, they're not going to your fucking bullshit altcoin. You might love it, right? And maybe you make some money there. I'm not saying don't trade, I like to trade in the top 10. Most I'd go as top 20 in terms of trading volume. You're going to go into some of God, there's so many of them now. It's almost silly, right? But if you stay with the majors, I think you're going to be okay, and you're going to have plenty of liquidity and lots of exchange options here. So, I'm using the aggregator here just so that I'm not exchange dependent, right? This just uses all of them. If I can buy it down here, well, there's the 200 got MA sitting at 114. This would be a gift as far as I'm concerned to get it down here. Now, you'll note I had multiple median lines in here on this when I opened this chart. Why? This is the higher high. So 1, 2, when we come down over here, could we come this low? Well, better hurry up and do it. Do we not have 80% probability of getting there? We do. Doesn't matter, right? There's just because, oh shit, well, I don't want that 80% on a short. No, there's the reality, right? Same difference. All right, we don't have a golden, but I have a corner. I have a corner pocket here. 80% probability gets there. That's where I'd love to see it down here. 111, 114, which seems, oh, come on, man. Well, how do you want it to go down? Yeah, I want it to go down because I want to buy it because I anticipate that it's going to go higher after that. Right? Draw your own conclusions, but I would not avoid, right, as I say often, median lines are most common technical tool, right? We're up there with trend lines. Least used, most profitable. Most traders lose money. Correlation? Could be. Okay, let me move over to, hang on a second. All right, I popped over here to ETH. Again, I'm on the aggregator. This is crypto, so I've got full history, but I lose the volume profile. Well, ETH, after being somewhat dormant for the last 2 years, all of a sudden starting to kick here. I've adjusted this count, I think, with the retrace here and then this that follows, right? So there's a case to be made that this was 3, 4, and we're going up for the 5. I think better fit now, given this price action here that we've gone 1, 2, right? When it goes right to a 50, there's the inverse, or excuse me, there's a fair value gap right there. Pretty reasonable, technical to think 1, 2. Now, here's the key piece, right? For a good impulse, we want to break that preliminary channel and break it aggressively, which we seem to be on our way. We seem to be on our way here. To that break, this would be the common location for a 1618. You can see this, all this liquidity kind of waving up here. Come get me, come get me. You think there's some stops up there? I guarantee there are. Okay, right, so what's the play here? Well, if you're looking at this, wouldn't your first thought be, oh God, I'm a little bit late to that? Discount premium, right? Are you buying in premium? Yes. So, oh shit, what do I do, man? Well, my suggestion would be patient, wait, let this show its hand here. There's no certainty. You don't know that that's a 3, right? Certainly all of the ingredients are there. But until I get there, it's just potential. I would like to see go up here, sweep all that liquidity. You can almost see the play happening, right? We're going to go up here, sweep all that liquidity, grab all of the stops that are up there, up, and then we're going to come down, right? And these guys go, I knew that thing was going, right? It's just human nature, right? Then we're going to go up here and do that. Right, that's what I would hope to see. Now, is that what happens? Fuck if I know. But that's what I can look at that and say, well, if I get up here and I get this 3 and we sweep that liquidity, good probability where I believe I have an edge. So I may not short it, but if I come down here for the 4, I'm going to be looking to be a buyer here. I'm going to do the exact same thing I would counsel you to do. Okay, well, let's get a reaction. Right? I don't know what it's going to be, but I'm going to be watching this, right? And I'd have alerts all over this so I don't miss something. If I get down here, something like this, oh, yes, I want to buy it. With that as my target, which would just be absolutely mundane, typical, everyday Elliott Wave. Kind of thing that happens every day by the tens of thousands across all asset classes. Not sexy enough for you? Let's you decide. Looking very good, right? But if you're not in, I wouldn't chase, right? Chasing is giving into FOMO, right? Or just dopamine, right? Bad idea for a technician. Do you have an edge here? You have to ask yourself, what's my edge? Before you pull the trigger, what's the edge? Well, hopefully before you're even going to consider buying or selling, you've already determined your edge. But you've got to be able to look at it and say, when you review the trade later, after the outcome of the trade is done, can you come back here and go, well, I'd do that trade 10 out of 10 times or 100 out of 100 times because I recognize my edge. Doesn't matter win or lose. Right? I recognize my edge. I acted on it. As opposed to, well, fuck, I don't know, man. I don't want to get stopped out. If you see it, you understand it, the money management is within your budget, pull the trigger. And if you're nervous about it, all the better. Now here, I'd be very uncomfortable buying that. Just me personally, right? I don't buy that kind of price action. I'll buy this kind of price action, or this kind. And here, I'd have missed it. Promise you, I'd have missed this, right? I'd have been waiting for something deeper before I got that. Right? Now I'm in ETH, right? So I'm not really worried about missing something right there, but that's not a great setup. I didn't get a little pullback. You're going to miss some. Deal with it. Don't cry about it. Next trade, next setup, next edge. Let's see where this goes, right? Maybe you can get the 4 to the 5, right? And if you miss that, right, for whatever reason, what's the anticipation here? That we're going to complete this and then do what? Did you miss it? Did you? Maybe not. Don't let the FOMO get the better of you. It does to many, if not most, in the retail space. Oh, God, it's going up. I don't want to miss it. Okay, hang on a second. All right, let me stick with the majors here. We've been over these last few weeks here, but they're worth noting, because all of the waiting, all of the anticipation, all of the trying to figure out what. God damn it! What is that? Where are we? What Solana has been for most of it. Let's pull back here. For most of this movement here off of the lows here, this has been really good, right? It's good Elliott on the way down, right? It's played great Elliott ball. 1, 2, 3, 4. I know you can't see in there, but it certainly looks like we're going up chasing that 5. Right. Oh, I'm over here on Coinbase. Oops, shame on me. I should be on Phoenix. Okay, but so if I draw it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right, look? Yes. Definitely. Right, so there's no reason. See, there's no reason to assume that's not going to complete. It's that you don't have a reason. So with that bias in place, that's technically grounded, not as opposed to, I want it to go up because I'm long. With a technical bias here that's well grounded, let's dig in there a little bit further and see if we can look for those opportunities where we might identify an edge. Okay, so as I bring this in here, I know there's a lot of shit on here. I understand. Here, let's see. I think I pulled this volume profile here from this pivot here. So as we look here, we're right in the pocket here. Right now, pushing the edge. Here's your, 70% of the price action, rounding, right? 68 point whatever. 1, 2. Right. So do I have an edge here? First question. Do I have an edge? Well, I've got an Elliott pattern I recognize. I've got a corner pocket. Now, it's not golden, right? I'm in the pocket between the 50 and the golden, right? So do I not have probability in working for me? Yes is the answer to that. Yes, I know that as long as, again, I've been saying this for 6 years. As long as this pivot holds, I have 80% probability of getting to that meeting line. Is 80 good enough for you? You're looking for more than that? Well, the only place I know you can get higher odds than that is selling out of the money options. But the bang, if you're talking bang for buck, right, this is still your best straight, pure price action play, right, with edge. There is no other place, and I don't care what anyone tells you, that has better odds than that. None. Zero doesn't exist. Yet, how many of you are using it? I'd guess less than 5% that are listening. So let's see, can we get the count to align with the odds probability, right? So we've got a decent, right? It's not the, it's a little bumpy to get started here. There is an impulse that gets us here. So I can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, now I got to go into a combo here. ABC into a WXABC, right? Often with Elliott Wave, you're working backwards. Oh, well, I finished in a 3. Well, I can't finish in a 3. I've got to finish in a 5, right? We begin and we end in 5. So there's the 5 coming down. Well, how can I connect that? It's not an impulse. What's left? ABC, right? That's the beautiful part of Elliott, right? That I think people miss, certainly when they're new students. It's if not this, then that. And if not that, then this. the very little in the technical world with this kind of established rules and guidelines gives you that clarity, that decision matrix. Impulse 5, correct 3. Impulse 5, correct 3. Impulse 5, correct 3. There is no place on this chart where I can't do that. So yes, I want to play here. All right, so what have I got coming out of the low here, out of my corner, right? That's technical, right? High volume node. I get a 5 followed by a 3. Well, I get another 5. Well, if this is 1, 2, I need an impulse here. Well, 1, 2. We're working on 3, looking for a 4, looking for a 5. Maybe that gets me to the median line. Maybe that gets me there, the 3. Oh shit, get out of here. If I get this kind of an action right here, I'm just, free drawing this. I have no idea what that's going to look like, but that's certainly reasonable. 3, 4, 5, right? Where do they usually go? Wouldn't that be, okay. Well, I've got an algo target right here based off of this, right? We know an algo is driving that. Doesn't mean it's going to get there. Just means that we've got an algo behind us, right? That's always what you want. You want to be working, you want to be tucked in behind the algo. So where do they usually go? Well, if this is accurately identified, right, which is still an if that's the 1 and that's the 2, where's the highest probability location for a wave 3? Right there. Now we're going to do it. Oh, I got equal. Oh, I got to break a structure right there, right? So that's a good. Oh, I'm glad I caught that, right? So as we break this out, well, see, we tapped it here, right? So that you got a true double top there because the market is not ready yet. So often what will happen is they'll come up here, they'll tap it, and then they use that. See, they'll track some shorts here. I promise you. Well, let's get you out of there. Some people will try and short that. They will. Right? You see this in the futures all the time, particularly around the IB high. Right? You see it won't break it, right? Or be a tick or two off of it. It'll retrace, and then they'll use the stops that are there for the fuel to get up there. Right? It's very, very, very common, right? So often this is what you'll see on a double here, so they don't break it, right? Oh, what? Oh, what? What's the anticipation, right? Again, I say this every week. If we break it, what's the anticipation? Retrace. Now, market's not obligated to do it. What does it usually do? And why would it retrace? Right? What do you think? There's some stops up here? Yeah, there are. Right? Break that where they got to refuel. So maybe prior resistance becomes support, and maybe that takes us to the median line. Things to consider, right? So this has been very technical. Lots of money flowing in. We've got Solana ETFs. We've got all of the ingredients are there for this to just keep going. So it's not really porn-like. It's not really bull porn to be putting projections up here 300, 400, 500. It's just following the wave count. Now that's at this moment in time. Now all it takes is some event, something happens, right? And wave counts change, right? Just like, not to be silly about the analogy, but no two waves are the same, right? In the ocean or in the markets. Bottom line is, can you identify an edge for yourself here? If you can't, don't trade. If you can, you should already be long. Should have been long down here. Oh yeah, it's easy in hindsight. Did you have another spot here? I didn't quite make the 50. POC, right? You got this little pocket right here, but sometimes you're just going to be down here where you might miss. I've had two massive winners that I missed the fill by 2 ticks. Massive. I put my fist through. I'm going back a lot of years. I have been left by a tick or two and seen massive winners run off because I had a limit order didn't get filled. Right? It's just the nature of the beast. Right? It's very, very frustrating when that happens, but it's going to happen. So all you can control is your reaction to it. All right. So right now, I'd be certainly watching what happens at this pivot, right? As we came up here and backed off. Should be interesting, right? 3, 4, 5. We're looking for that 80%. Okay, let me get off of this here. I can talk for 2 hours. SUI also quite good. Looks like we may have completed this 3. Or just like it's essentially like we're looking at in Solana, right? SUI looks like it's already finished it. Well, it's because here's the, oh no, they haven't, right? They haven't broken the pivot yet. They haven't. I thought they had. They haven't broken. Same thing, same idea, right? Coming right up just before it. Oh, why, right? What is that? That is, My God, is that just sweet, right? So if we retrace here, you can just see how it's being played, right? What the algos or institutions, call them whatever you want, right? So if we're going to go, here's the completed impulse. We don't break the pivot. We also have not made the median line. So if this is going to be our pivot, we don't know for sure, but if that's going to be our pivot of our 3, and we're going to start this retrace for the 4, when we come back this way, all that liquidity is sitting up there. That's what I would forecast. Take note, I'm not saying I know that that's what's going to happen. You can either say, well, nobody knows what's going to happen, so what's the point of forecasting it? Yeah, if that's your approach to the market, right? You're probably on the wrong video, right? We want to try and anticipate, right? But we're going to be wrong often. You have to accept that, and you have to be at peace with that. That can't be a friction point. I'm going to be wrong more than I'm right, but I'm still going to forecast, because when I'm right, I know I'm going to make assuming good money management, I'm going to make so much more money when I'm right than I'm going to lose when I'm wrong. Otherwise, what are you doing in here? Why are you doing it? What's the key ingredient there? Because if we all acknowledge we're going to be wrong more than we're right, how do you stay profitable? That's a black and white question, right? It's only money management does it. That's the only way you can pull it off. That's how you can have a 25, 30% win rate and still be massively profitable. It's just simple math, right? So don't fight the math. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Well, if this is 1 and that's 2, and this is a completed impulse, and we're trying to get up here to that 5 to complete that, low probability considering, right, how bullish the potential is here. If we go back out to a 4, low probability that's going to be the 3. Oh, even more so, right? Look here, right? If it's 1, 2, and then it's another 1, 2. Now, of course, we could have a massive extension in the 5th, right? I'm not saying that couldn't happen. But based on what we can see here, right? If this is 1, 2, 3, we're going to do a 4 and go for the 5 right here. That's unlikely to be the 3. I mean, it could be. But wouldn't you anticipate, holy shit, right? If this is 1, 2, where do they usually go? Where's the highest probability location for that wave 3? Right here. Right, far beyond the median line. So I mean, we could go 2, 6, 1, 8 here. We could go up to the upper parallel here. If this is really going to go, right, and we're going to get massive movement here in the alt space like this, or in the power alts, that's what I call them. 1, 2, that's likely to be one of 3, not 3. Just like this 1, 2, well, what was your choice here? You only had one choice. 1, 2. Now, again, it could do that. But be a little atypical. We don't want to trade atypical. We don't want to go in here going, God, I hope it does something. It rarely ever does. No, what does it usually do? 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? That's what you would anticipate. That's what you can anticipate, but that doesn't mean that's what it's going to do. It means that you can anticipate it, so that the times when it does happen, bankroll. Okay, that's SUI. You got Solana. Okay, hang on a sec. Okay, XRP. Well, I gotta admit, this gets me a little stiff. All right, this is my second largest holding outside of Bitcoin, because not to gloat about I've been in this for a very long time, because I recognize the potential here. Right, so again, if you've ever wired money, you're like, you got to be kidding me. There's got to be a better way to do this. Here's your better way to do it. Now, for a long time, it was very like, God damn, is it top here, right? We've been looking at this for so long, right? But again, for any new users here, could it have been 3, 4, and then the 5 was here, and we had to come deeper, right? But it looks like that's the 3. It's going to hold. We've got the 4, right? You can see my question marks, right? Because we've been looking at this for, Jesus, when did this start? 24, right? That was the big rip post-election. That's the post-election rip. And now it looks very different when you take it out of log scale. Which is why I always want to encourage you, don't just get locked in on log only. Just look at both, double check, right? You sure they're okay? Right. So now, granted, right, we're given that range, right? We want to analyze it in log scale, but where are we going here now? That's the question. Well, it's really the same question you have to ask yourself as on virtually everything we've looked at, from Bitcoin through all the alts we've looked at here. Is that going to be the 5 or the 1 of 5? Well, there gets to be a point where you're like, oh, okay, wait a second. If that's going to be the 105, then we're going, 10, 12 bucks, right? That's a monster. Jesus. If we go up here, I may be doing these live streams from my very large boat somewhere in Europe. 1, 2, 3, 4, because I have a lot of this. Okay, so but that shit. If we get to 7, 8 bucks, I'd probably trim a little. 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So okay, well, let's forecast, right? Where do they usually go? And this is tricky here because the 1 is so small relative to the 3 that came off of it. Well, there's the most common, right? 100, right? Where are we going? Could we go 2618? Okay, 850. So you look at that and you go, well, fuck, man. How do I know? How can I tell? Well, you're not going to know. Nobody knows. So what can we do? Well, let's go down to something like a 3 hour and say, can we track the wave count here and see if we can get to some probability that works in our favor? Okay, this is tricky here. This is left over from last week because I remember looking at this going, oh fuck, what do I do with that? Because I don't come out with a 5. And I don't want to put the 1 over here because it's got a 3 in it. So it looks to me like I've got some sort of very wacky flat, I have to remind you. You're not going to get perfect Elliott at every swing, every pivot. Is there a solution there that's valid? Yes, that's valid. Is it normal, typical? Absolutely not. It's very abnormal. But there's only so many choices I have here. So if I dig into that even further, what am I going to do with that, right? Is that the 1? Do I have 5 into the 1? I do. I'd have to go down to a 2 minute to show that last little leg up here. But I can't finish it here. So I go A, B, buck. See? That looks like a 5, 2, 5, 2, right? So it looks like I go 1, 2, 1, 2. I mean, I'm on a 3 hour. Let's go to 30 minute. You probably see those a little bit better. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? They're really tiny, but there they are. So if I'm starting here, do I go 1, 2, 1, 2? Kind of looks like it. Here's a nice example. I think that's left over from last week, right? Or from a live stream. Look what they do up here. As all those equal highs. Grab, right? Get people shorting. Watch the pivots, right? That's where you got to be careful. Well, it looks like we've got a 4 that's gone in here. There. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh God, I'd have to go to minuscule to get that. But there it is. It's there. It's not mystery meat here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got it. I've got the little impulse. Get that, if I can get that 2 over there. Got an impulse. Got a correction. Got it. Diag. Ooh, that's ugly. Where are we going? That's a 30. Let's go back to a 60. I much prefer Elliott on 60 and above. 1, 2. What else would you label that? 1, 2. Let me get this up here and take that up a degree. Hang on. Let's go white here. All right, so we're looking for that to continue. Again, I would leave this down here because this is a little funky to where I'm like, fuck, I don't have clarity on what, so I kind of float this going. If I get in trouble up here, I'm confused. I got to come back down here and reconsider that count. So I leave these, I use the ellipse, right? So always it's a warning signal for me. Like, okay, hey, if you get in trouble here in this count, you can come back here and say there's likely another way to think about this. But as it sits right here now, okay, I'm just ripping. I'm ripping and ripple, right? We're just cranking here. Now, be mindful, right? You always got to look left. What did we just do? Oh, shit. Come here to the 4 hour here. Oh. Now, note, right? It's a change of character because the last thing down here was a change of character. So it's not a clear, I mean, a change of character is a break of structure, but it's, oh, boy. Machine's getting gnarly. I'm running low on space. Okay, right? So we've got a break of structure. That's not bad news. That's good news, right? We want that little retrace for a potential entry. We're looking for this way up here, this over here. something like this. Is there any? I don't think that would be a dispute as to whether or not we have something impulsive here, right? It's just beautiful, right? And there's no telling where that high is, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, if I finish the labeling. Well, here, let's do it this way since I started with the green. Here, that's a better use of what I've got up there, right? So we're still looking for that. We're looking for that 5 to complete. Now, what will that be? If this is the 3, and we've gone, here's the 4, and we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're pushing for a big extension in the 5th. Well, at some point, you're going to anticipate a retrace, right? Where's the liquidity? It's not up here. It's down here. So if this, again, I don't have the top, but if we get up to something like this, you're going to look for something down here. That's where the fuel will be, because that's where all the stops will be, which is all that's how it runs, right? There's nobody to take, there's no stops up here. Once they get up here, right, they got to come back down to get your stops so they can go higher. It doesn't matter if we're talking crypto. It doesn't matter what the market is. That's what happens in the modern era. And it's not some guy at BlackRock going, where can I get their stops, right? It's all software does it anyway. All right, so if this is 3, 4, what are we doing here, right? For those of you that are with me, right, they want to see this thing just go, right? We want this. We want this chance to buy some more. Maybe just trim a little bit up here. If I get up here to, I probably trim. I have a limit order sitting at $6, but you know, I might pull that down. Okay, well, I want that too, because what does that imply? Higher prices. If this is not the 5, right? And I'm not saying it can't be. But if this is going to really rip, you know, if we're going to go 1, 2, right? You almost can't. Like, oh, $12. But I think my buy-in is 62 cents. Right? Again, that will be. You may not hear from me for a while. Okay, all right. So let me keep moving here. It's not about me. It's about you, right? So it's not. I'm not here to flex, although occasionally I let some things slip out. Okay, let me pause there 1 sec. I guess I'm going to stay crypto all week here for this, or stay all crypto here. And I know I've been going into the ES and the bonds lately here, but I'm already at 47 minutes. This is getting a lot of. I'm getting this from some people whose. Their crypto fundamental research here, I respect here. This is getting a lot of potential to be a huge winner, right? So this is hype. I'm on Femex, right? Our exchange that sponsors us here. We're very happy with them. If you're looking for an exchange, you want to diversify into exchange, I think you'd be very pleased there, as we are. I've got just a rip roaring. I can't script that shit, right? That's just perfect impulse, right? Right up into this top. Well, but wait a minute, I got a new high. Now you could look at this and say, well, okay, well, why are you calling this corrective? Well, number one, if this is the 5, no, I'm in log scale, right? So we can take it out of log scale. I don't know that I would change it much. This looks like an ABC into an expanded B to me. Now from 9 to what do we get here? 49. You know, that's certainly more than 3-4 times the range. So this is one to get on your radar. I'm not saying to short it here. I'm saying if we can see this, if this comes down here and we complete something like this, if we get something in this range here of an ABC, could be deeper, right? Again, I'm kind of watching this high volume node here. You can see my alert, right? Because I don't want to miss this if I get a chance to buy it down here, right? Tied into all of this, right? So, oh, pardon me. I drew it from that. So there it is, right there. All right. So if I could get this down here, oh, I'm gonna take a big bite here. Now, for all I know, that doesn't happen, right? And that would be very hard to tie that into, because you can see the 5 that completes up here. So this looks like an A. This looks like a B. Now, it's not required. Market is never required to do anything. It's going to do what it's going to do. Right? It could do this. If we get a 5 here, it could, right? We could have just an unusual, right? I remember some of the big crypto bull runs, right? It was just constantly, right? You get truncated C waves, right? Market's impatient. People want to buy it. Any sort of retrace. So, but this is one I would absolutely get on your watch list, right? Keep an eye on it. Now I have my alert here at $30. because I want to. What I would love to see is it come down, sweep that low, or sweep that pivot. That's why my alert is right there. So I want to buy it down here, if I can. Now I would keep personally. I wouldn't go full boat here because I want to have liquidity here if it's going to go deeper and do more typical. Here's POC down here. Do a deeper, more typical wave 2. I don't know what would cause that, but of course, nobody knows, right? It's always, of course, after the fact. But as it sits here right now, something down here, I'm very, very interested. I keep an eye on that one. I looked, I went to the Genius Act. I guess Trump's going to sign that today, all the stable coin. I looked at, these are probably the 4 assets in the traditional market. Here I said I was going to go all crypto, but here I looked at all these to see if there's a setup, and most of these you're kind of late, right? Coinbase, if you're not in, you don't want to be buying it right there. You just got the algo target. Circle is probably the one that's the trickiest to deal with here because you have limited history here. That's a 3-hour. Maybe, right? You can talk yourself into it. Looks like it might be a 5 there, 1, 2, and you're going into the 1 of the 3. Right, that should be this. They should be the big winner here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But it's kind of 1, 2, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1 of 3. Take this up a degree. That's not unreasonable. Just less history, right? So you're taking a little bit more risk here. A little bit more. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, probably not the 3. Again, it takes just seconds to measure. So why not? Why would you not do it? I'm in log scale. Well, fuck, that could be the 3. All right, look at that. Do I need to be in log? Yeah, I do. 3 times the range. Well, that's interesting. Oh, shit, right? This could be, if we're doing the 4 here, let's keep a watch on that. If we're doing that, you might anticipate, right, if this is our launch point for the next leg up, that this is going to be the 1, right? So I would be leaning in towards 1, 2. If that's going to hold as the 3, right? We don't know for sure. If we get this, I'd be anticipating that to be the 1, right? Now we could go higher, sweep the high. The 1 of the 3, right? 1, 2, big 3. The others, I think you're just too late, right? This PayPal, okay, they should do all right, right? We've got a double here. Coinbase, Hood, you're way too late, right? You can't chase that. Can't chase that. Look at this beautiful impulse correct to the 50. Algo just got paid. That could be going second target, right? But you can't chase that, right? You got to wait for a retrace because this could go 1, 2, 1, 2. This could be 1, 2, and then we're going to even further, right? Robinhood's going to be a monster if that's the case, right? Even that already is a little bit on the, that's R-rated porn right there. Okay, and the last one, let's see. Last one here, that looks fairly decent here was Injective. I got this off of the AltFin's list of their hot list. Pretty good looking one. Well, 5, 3, 5, 3, 5, 3, right? It should be just burnt into your brain. I get a deeper retracement here. I get a wick that goes through, but I don't get a close below, right? So the golden, you could make a case, right, that the algo is still in play. I have a deep retrace here. I have a set of I have a channel on this rather than median lines because it's too steep, right? If I do it, right, you might say, well, what about the golden? What about the hot, right? It's good, right? But we're kind of steep here, right? So you could keep these, you could keep this on here, right? Still, the 80% is there. It's not like it leaves. It could be right here. It's pretty steep, right? I mean, either one works. Either one works. But this is a reasonable target. If we do that, are you thinking that's the 3? No, I wouldn't. I'd be thinking that's the 1 of 3. Right, next thing has to happen here. We got to break structure here. Get up there and get that. That's one I'd keep on your radar. Looks like that's got good potential and is playing pretty good Elliott ball here of 5 followed by 3. It looks like we're going into the 1 of the 3 before we go, but we've got clear targets here. Now, you're a little bit late to this party. If I take that, let's go to a 2-hour here. You're a little bit late, right? If this was tricky down here because it got very bumpy. 1, you'd have to do this as a WXY. Oh, fuck. No, you could do it. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You could do it. There's a couple of different ways, right? Because we've got a lot of slop down here. So you just get a range, right? As we sit here, high, low, high, right? Well, finally we break out. Look, it's just classic technical, stuff, right? We break the range and we come back. We retest the high of the range, right? So look for those kind of things. I know, hindsight. I hear it every week, right? But again, the point is, I can't be here right now. We can't be recording right when that happens, saying, okay, you can buy it now. But the next time you see it, oh, okay, well, if prior resistance becomes a support, maybe I got some edge there. Would that be consistent? Is there a count here that I could lean into with that? That's the reason to draw that to your attention, not to say, look what you could have done. I think I have a tiny little bit of this, but not off of this, right? It's from way earlier. 1, 2, what are we doing here? If that's the 1, that's the 2. It's going to be the 1 of the 3, right? 3 will be way higher, potentially way up here. 24 could be. Next up, right? So ideally, you could see something break here, get to the median line, start the retrace there, right? Now be ready for that. Right, same thing. I may or may not, be teeing this up, a week from now. Could be, right? You don't need me. The point is to where you don't need. The point is to teach you, so you don't need me. Right? You just come here for ideas. Maybe some things you haven't spotted. Maybe correct a few things that you see. If you want to work on this TA skill set here that we teach every day, every week, TradeDevils.com. All right, you can join our Discord for free. I think our website was down earlier, but it should be back up now. Join our Discord for free. Again, never take my word for anything, right? Get in there, ask the other members. Okay, guys, with that, oh shit, I went almost an hour. Whoa. Well, I'll do the time codes, right, so you can go to the assets that interest you. Okay, guys, have a good weekend. I'll catch you next week.